perfecting who I am. No one ever stopped me, not even Uncle Sam. Life might be a struggle, life might be a fight, but I am here to show the world that I can make it right. On a bad day, on a good day, on a bad day, rain keeps raining. Every dawn and day I wait. Maybe this time you will stay. I've kept your clothes on tight.
Hello everybody and welcome to the stream. Goddamn, Jack is back. So, I should actually be using that because that's my gaming channel, but I always do that. But welcome to Carnivore Better Life. Let's stop the music if we can. Sorry, I did a new setup here, so everything is a little bit of it's a little bit set up wrong, but that's fine. I will correct it for the next stream. Welcome in everybody. Today I want to talk about the carnivore diet and the 5 stages of it. This is the second live stream we're doing on Carnivore Better Life. So I hope this is gonna be good. I'm just checking everything here, that everything is running. See a lot of people in the chat. Welcome in everybody. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Let me give you guys let's give a cheer for that. Hello, welcome in. All right, guys. So the reason I want to talk about this, first of all, I need to say that I am not a doctor, just so you guys know. I am a normal dude just doing the carnivore diet, but I found the informations that I figured out, or the things that I found on the carnivore diet, extremely important for people. So I wanted to share my experiences and how everything has turned out and what I have experienced. So there's a lot of good things with the carnivore diet. It is essentially a diet that is ancestral, right? So it's like a original diet, but which humans used to live on, like only meat. And it is like essentially we are carnivores. That's what it is. And if you want to have a healthy life, the best thing you can do is get as close to 100% carnivore as you can. Not everybody can get that close. Like I am not 100% carnivore. I'm what we call a standard carnivore, which that's actually a good topic for another stream. We could get into which kinds of carnivore types there are, because there's actually I think there's like 6 different types. I am what we call a standard carnivore, so I still have some things that I eat that are not necessarily carnivore. Like for instance, I drink coffee. Coffee is one of the few things that I actually still do. I also use milk in like my scrambled eggs and stuff like that. So but those are more or less the only. Oh, I also eat cheese, of course. I eat cheese. So essentially, I try to eat everything that's from animals, but I think the only thing I need to drop still is the coffee, and sometimes I drink like a diet soda or something like that. I think those are the only things that I need to drop. So yeah, that's more or less the standard carnivore thing. But yeah, as you guys know, dropping certain things can be very difficult. So just starting on the carnivore is actually quite difficult. I understand that because I've been there. and I will explain them more about it's actually in one of the stages here. So yeah. First I want to talk about how I found the information. I hope everyone is having a good day though. I'm not used to having that many people in here, so this is actually really nice to see people in the chat. Oh yeah, also I will be taking any questions or anything you have that you want, any questions you want to ask me. I will, after I'm done with the going through the things here, I'm gonna run through the questions in the chat if there are any, and then I will try to answer them if I can. If they are like questions that I can't find out, I'll try to look into it, and then I will probably like either send you a DM or like try to get in contact with you and see if I can figure things out. I'll try to help as much as I can. Any questions that are to doctors, I would highly recommend Dr. Ken Berry. He has a Rumble and a YouTube, and Dr. Anthony Chafee is a very, very good, those are both really good doctors, and they can help with any medical question that you guys might have, because it comes up a lot, because it turns out that like cutting away carbohydrates can solve a lot of issues that people are having. And then of course there's all the, if you get like your blood tested and stuff, there's usually a lot of questions about that. So please, if you have any questions like that, try to go to those channels and try to ask them about it. You can ask me and I'll try to get a question or like an answer out of it. But it's very difficult for me to figure out because I'm not a doctor and I don't want to be giving the wrong impression. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I'll try to answer any question after what I have here has been presented. I need something to like hold. I have like a, if you guys can see it, it's right here. I have like a cue card because I need to remember the steps and stuff. So right now I've been doing carnivore diet for about 4 months and 2 weeks. So it's still rather new for me. And there are 5 steps in carnivore diet, right? So we have, yeah, 5 stages, 5 steps, 5 stages, 5 levels. People use different ways of saying it, but we have 5 different stages, and yeah, I'm in stage 3 at the moment, which is something that I'm going to talk about after I've talked about all this here. But there's a bunch of stuff. So the information that I got from a guy called, let me see here, let me pull it up because I'm a little bit forgetful sometimes. HomeSteadHow. I'll put the link to his channel in the chat here in a moment, and I'll also put it in the description after the stream. Let me see here. Let me put it in. He does not have a Rumble, sadly. I mean, he does have a Rumble, but there's nothing on it really. So yeah, I'm linking you guys the YouTube channel, which I know you guys are not going to be super happy about that, but it is what it is, man. He's a very, very good content creator, and he's a very personable person. He's also not a doctor, but he's making a what is it called again? A documentary on carnivore diet. So yeah, if you guys want to support something like that, you can go support him. He's a really good, really cool guy, man. I've been watching a lot of his content, and it's been really wholesome and actually very interesting. Also very fun to like hear about all the experiences that they have made with the diet and all that. So yeah, please do check out his channel. He has a lot of other information there too. He talks about like how poisonous plants are, and he explains what regenerative agriculture is, like how like cows don't hurt the environment, they actually give back to the environment, so your land stays fertile and all that. There's a ton of stuff in there, man. Go check it out after the stream and see some of his content, man. It's quite good. It's quite good. Yes, I do need something to hold this. So I'm gonna put this right here. I think I need to get me one of those metal things where I actually like keep it so I can actually hold my notes up here, because I don't want to look down all the time, because you guys are just gonna see the top of my head half the stream, and that would not be super interesting. All right, so okay, let me get into this here. So um okay, so yeah, I am making this video because it's important to know if you want to start a carnivore diet. It's important to know these steps because you can get into a little bit of a there are some hurdles that you need to get over once you get into it. The first one, and this is the first stage, I'm just going to touch on that right now. The first stage is actually starting carnivore. So it is very difficult for people to get into carnivore because it's very different than what doctors tell you to do, and it's very different than what the normal people or knowledge of this century tells us to do. So it's very difficult to accept that, I guess, and that's one of the things. It's also like if you're doing carnivore and you don't know that these hurdles are coming, it can kind of hurt you down the road. So you can kind of fall off a little bit. Even though when you're on carnivore, falling off a little bit, like once a month, is not a big deal. You can easily get back on and just continue. And your body won't really affect you that much. The only thing is that like if you're a smoker, or like if you have something that's very difficult to get rid of, it can kind of hurt you in the long run. So these stages will help you understand what's happening once you're going through this, because yeah, it's a bit of a godsend for me, because there's a lot of stuff in here that helped me out in the beginning and also have helped me since then. So yeah, but like I said, stage one, starting carnivore, you need to, yeah, when you start carnivore, you need to be able to research what is carnivore actually. You need to go in and actually look with your own eyes and find as much information about it as you can. Listen to the people who have tested it on their own bodies. Listen to people who have talked to other people. But do your research so you know what you're in for, right? Because once you start carnivore, to get your body into ketosis, which is what happens when you're no longer burning carbohydrates, you need to prepare for there's like a little carnivore flu you need to get over, and it can be a little bit annoying for some people. If you can negate it by drinking a lot of water with like salt in it, and also let me see here. See, this is why I need my notes, because I keep forgetting electrolytes. The word electrolytes keeps escaping me, but it's very important. So yeah, there's a bunch of things that you do once you get into it. But the first thing is starting up carnivore. You need to research and be sure that you can do this, and make certain that like you understand why you want to change something, right? Like when I started this, I was kind of desperate after a solution, because I felt bad. I felt like I couldn't be in my own body. And it was just horrible, man. I kept losing 5 kilograms and I kept gaining 5 kilograms again, because I kept falling off the carbohydrate or the calorie control or whatever. You know, I was trying to like manage my calories, and I felt I was hungry all the time. I felt angry. I felt like I had like mood swings. You can't even believe the mood swings, man. Holy, the mood swings was super bad. And I was like, it was almost like mood swings mid-sentence, which it's like, goddamn, man. So yeah, mood swings were definitely a big issue. So you need to you need to go into this and having a good reason to do it. Of course, I mean, you can do it if you just want to try something new. That's okay too. But you know, I would recommend like making sure that you really solidify in your mind, why am I doing this, right? So yeah, I was in a bad place, and I kind of shifted away from it by just like researching, right? So a friend told me that like I should try doing vegan, and yeah, it wasn't. If you want to know more about that, you can see one of the other videos that I have. But essentially, I was like, okay, I'm gonna research this. I'm gonna figure out what this vegan thing is, because I'm keep hearing stuff about it, started researching it, and yeah, it didn't look too good. The people didn't look good, and the advice they gave was weird. It didn't make sense to me, so I started investigating what the alternative was, and that's when I stumbled into carnivore. Right, stumbled into a guy that actually switched from vegan to carnivore, and then I switched into carnivore. Or then I began reading about carnivore and finding out what it's about, because I couldn't do the managing of calories. It just didn't work for me, and I think a lot of people have the same issue. And there's actually a good reason why it doesn't work, or at least it's difficult to do. It does work for a few, for like a small percentage of people, people in the world. But it's still difficult even for them to do. You have to actually torture yourself to lose weight, which is it's a little bit unnecessary in my opinion. So with the cool thing about like carnivore diet is that you don't have to manage your calories. You eat until you're full, and then you stop eating, and that's it. And your body will take care of the rest on its own. But you have to not eat any carbohydrates. That's very important. So yeah, you have to eat no plants, no sugars. Okay, sugars should actually be first, because that's probably the most important thing. Absolutely no sugars. Even if it's like a uncomplicated sugar crystal, do not eat sugars, because sugar will screw with your insulin. And as soon as your insulin goes up, your body cannot lose weight, because that's how we're programmed, like how we're set up. Insulin is there to make us fatter, because our body thinks we're in hard times. And yeah, if you eat any kind of sugar, it's gonna ruin your weight loss. So get rid of sugar. That's the first thing. The second thing is like your calories, not calories, sorry, carbohydrates. Any plant, anything that makes you bloated, or anything that could potentially, like, you just have to cut all of it. Cut all of it in the beginning, and then just eat meat, fat. I think any product from like an animal, like in my case, lactose-free milk is okay. Lactose is a sugar, so try to drink lactose-free milk. That's way better. And what was I saying? Yeah, cheese could be good. I actually stopped drinking coffee for a while, but then here, like the start of this year, I actually started drinking coffee again, just because I enjoy it in the morning. But yeah, the reason for drinking coffee is not the same as before. When I was eating carbohydrates, I drank coffee because I couldn't wake up. Now I'm drinking coffee because it's cold outside, and it's nice having something warm that's like kind of delicious, right? And I put butter in my coffee instead of sugar. So that's really good. Very important to like try and find something else. If you're used to doing something that's not great, try to find something that's a little bit better for you. So yeah, I'm putting butter in my coffee, just a little bit. Just, it doesn't have to be much, but just so you get like that nice creamy taste of it. And then I also put a little bit of lactose-free milk. So that's essentially what it is. And it tastes really good, man. It's good in the morning, and you get that nice warm feeling, and yeah, it works for me. But yeah, if you're doing this, you have to be ready to cut carbohydrate a lot. Yeah, not carbs, but carbohydrates, right? And sugar. So sugar is also a carbohydrate. But I mentioned sugar on its own because it's one of those things where people kind of forget it sometimes, and it's one of the worst things that you can probably eat. It will screw so much with your body. It will screw with your metabolism and your hormones, and it's just bad for you, man. As soon as your insulin spikes, like I said, it's a big deal. So yeah, stage one, like, make sure you know why you're starting it. In my case, also, I want to mention that I got put into hospital, and I had to have my gallbladder removed, and yeah, I got some blood work that said that I was not doing too well. And I was like, damn, I need to change something. And I tried a lot of things. I tried everything except vegan, I guess. Also keto. Keto can also be pretty good. But the problem with keto is staying on it. It's more difficult. Like, carnivore is just so simple that you can't really go wrong with it. Like, you're not in doubt whenever you eat something wrong. You're like, yeah, I shouldn't have eaten that. And of course, it will happen. It has happened for me too. For instance, Christmas and like not the month, but like Christmas evening or Christmas. Here in Denmark, we actually celebrate Christmas in the evening instead of in the morning. So that party or whatever, I actually allowed myself to eat a little bit of sugar, and I did not feel great after that. When you haven't eaten sugar for months and months, eating sugar again can really like throw your curveball. It like you get an insane sugar high, and then you just your it just drops off a cliff, and then you just feel bad, man. And my skin also reacted immediately. I got like a not a rash, but like some problems with my skin, and you could definitely see that it was different. And I didn't even eat that much sugar; it's just immediately reacted to it. And then, of course, New Year's Eve, I also drank champagne and I ate some cake that I should not have eaten. And those things definitely it takes almost like a week to get rid of it again when it comes to sugar. So sugar is a big no-no. It's a big problem. It's a very big problem. Like I think sugar is way more dangerous than people think. And today we eat so much of it, and we even eat some of the worst sugars, like the starches and some of the more complex sugar crystals, which are way harder for our body to actually get rid of. So your insulin will spike way more, which is, if you wanted to eat any sugar, it should probably be sugarcane, because sugarcane is the most simple form of sugar crystal that there is in the world. I think the second one is probably fruit sugar, but that's still not. I mean, no sugar is good. It's I see it as a drug. It's essentially a drug, and we give it to our children, and it's horrible, man. Like the sugar industry is insanely big, right? It makes a lot of money, so it makes sense that they would try to sell it to our children, which is absolutely insane. So yeah, I think sugar is way worse than people understand and know. And I hope that eventually we'll get the word out there so people can at least cut down the amount of sugar that we consume. But the problem with sugar is also it's highly addictive. Yeah, so it's very difficult. So I chose to just cut it completely from day one when I started carnivore, and my body was not happy in the beginning. Let me just tell you, I was like the first 2 or 3 days, I was like, I needed sugar. I felt like I needed sugar all the time, and then it went away. And then it took me starting completely on carnivore, which is where I went, and then it took a while, and this is probably where stage 2 comes in. So stage 2 is natural ketosis. Oh God, I can't even say it, man. I promise, guys, I'm trying my best. I'm trying to get better at English, but my first language is Danish, so there's a bit of an issue with some words. But bear with me. I will fight my way through it. Natural ketosis is the normal state of our bodies, and it's very important to point out, because this is where we get access to our fat storage on our bodies. The reason it's so difficult to lose weight on a Western diet is because when you eat carbohydrates and you eat sugar and carbohydrates. I mean, I'm gonna lock sugar in on the carbohydrates from now on, just so you guys know, because it is kind of a carbohydrate. But yeah, as soon as you eat carbohydrates, you block the access to your fat storage, which means if you get just a little bit of fat more than the body needs to repair, it will put it in storage, and you won't be able to access the fat storage again. I have the whole last stream I did was actually on weight loss, and it touches exactly on this theme or this thing, right? So if you want to know more about that, you can go watch that stream. It's about an hour long. And yeah, I go more deep into why it works the way that it works. But yeah, essentially, ketosis is the natural state of our body. That's where our body can manage all the systems, and it has access to everything, right? So you need to be ready for once you get through the carnivore flu. The carnivore flu for me was 2 weeks in, like two weeks after I started. I had 2.5 days where I felt like shit. Essentially, I felt bad, man. I felt really bad. Like, I felt like I had it didn't hurt or anything. I just felt like in a bad mood, and I was like no energy. and I just felt like I couldn't do anything. It was luckily in the weekend, so I didn't lose any work or anything over it, but it was super annoying. I think I actually didn't stream that weekend. Now that I think about it, I might actually have been like taking a weekend off there when that happened, because I was down bad, man. It felt really bad. Since then, I learned that to avoid the carnivore flu, you can actually just try to drink more salt in water, like dissolve salt in water and then drink that, or take more electrolytes to prevent the carnivore flu, right? So I didn't know about that, so I didn't really do anything. So I just went in and I just got completely destroyed. So that was a little bit unfortunate. I should have done my research better. I knew about the carnivore flu, but I didn't know what I needed to do to avoid it or to make it less bad for me. I just thought I had like some kind of like a real flu instead. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go through this and it's gonna be fine. And it stopped after 2.5 days and I felt fine. I actually felt really good afterwards because my body switched from burning carbohydrates, it switched into ketosis, and I felt immediately better. I felt like I had so much more energy. I had like twice the energy of normal state, and I didn't have the thing where like I could work until 1 o'clock or 1 or 2 o'clock, and then my energy levels would like completely drop off, and I wouldn't have any energy. That disappeared completely. I didn't have mood swings all day, so there's a lot of benefits to it once your body gets into ketosis, right? So stage 2 is a little bit rough in the beginning there, but once you get into to the normal state, you'll be way better off for sure. Yeah, that is essentially the stage 2. Let me see. Yeah. Also a thing that the ketosis does, or stage 2 of a carnivore diet, it will get rid of many of the addictions you have to sugar, or the wanting sugar, the feeling of wanting sugar all the time. It's gonna get rid of most of that. It's only when you see someone eating like something that you used to love as a kid or something, like I love something called Giffels. I guess it doesn't. It's a Danish thing. It's like a little cake with like it's something that I got when I was a child a lot, right? And I always loved those things. Every time I see one of those packages, I'm like, oh shit, my sugar, my wanting sugar comes back a little bit. But then because I haven't eaten sugar for so long, it goes away super fast. Like I just need to like be like, oh, not eating that, and then it's all gone. It was way worse in the beginning though, so I stayed away from that in the beginning, just as a little cautionary tale, right? Like try to remember which things trigger your sugar wanting, and try to like mitigate it a little bit. I didn't accidentally eat. I didn't eat any of it when I was beginning my carnivore journey. So I really tried to like grasp that I'm not gonna eat sugar anymore. It's not happening. No matter what, I'm not doing it. And I need to be sure what I'm eating doesn't accidentally sugar in it, like they hide it with words that can be bad. There are 3 words that you need to be aware of when it comes to like foods that you can buy, right? Where there could be sugar in it. I'm trying to remember what the words are. I'll find them later, but there are some things that you need to be aware of when you look at stuff. But now I almost only eat meat, right? So it's not a big deal. Although there are some meats with sugar in it, it's if you know what you're buying, it should be fine. But yeah, definitely, it's definitely going to help with your wanting sugar all the time. So essentially 2 weeks, carnivore flu. Once the carnivore flu is done, your wanting sugar is going to dissipate. And that's stage 2. So that's when you know you're in stage 2, I guess, once you're in ketosis. So that's going to help a lot against your sugar addictions. Eating other things don't really like eating plants don't really, or not eating plants don't really wake my, like that doesn't make me annoyed, or like it doesn't like call for me in the same way because it's not addictive in the same way. I think we only eat plants because our society tells us to, and because companies tell us to. That's the reason we eat plants. Plants are super cheap to produce, and they last a long. Most of them last for like a while, and yeah, they make a lot of money on that, and it's kind of a sad thing because humans are carnivores and our bodies are not set up for eating plants. But I don't miss it. Let me just say that. That's not right. Actually, I did used to love potatoes, like well cooked potatoes or like grilled potatoes with salt on them. I actually used to love that a lot. But it's a really bad if you don't cook it enough or if you don't treat it right. It can be super bad for your body. It will. If I eat potatoes now, I'm gonna get stomach cramps, and my stomach's gonna hurt, and I'm gonna get bloated. So it's not good. I can't eat that anymore. Same goes for bread. Bread also gives me a bad stomach ache, which is it's a little bit weird thinking about because I might also have a gluten issue. There's something in it that like some breads can like hurt me a little bit. I haven't eaten it for a long while, but when I tested, I was about 1 month into it, and then I had a little bit of bread, and my stomach immediately got angry at me, or like my stomach hurt, and I began feeling bloated. So it will definitely impact you. So yeah, I used to love potatoes, but I don't eat them anymore because they are not good for you. I only eat meat and fat, and yep, that's it. And it's way better. It's way better, man. You get so much more energy. Your stomach is gonna be fine. Your stomach's gonna be having a good time, and yeah, no issues with your sewage system. Also, like I guess that's the nice way of saying it. So that also helped a lot. And it's important to take care of these things because our natural state is not being bloated and like feeling like you can't be in your own body, I guess. And also feeling constantly hungry. That's not the state that we're supposed to be in. And in a world where most of us live today, we can easily get good meat for like a decent price. Even if you don't have that much money, just switching to meat that is still cheap compared to eating vegetables is a way better solution. Like it's way better. You're gonna get so much more energy out of it. Your body's gonna be so much more happy that you did this, and you're gonna lose some of the issues that you had, and even issues you don't know you had. That's actually the next point that I'm gonna talk about here. I need some water. Just a second, guys. Oh, goddamn. Oh yes, nice cold water. I hope I'm not talking too fast. Do tell me in chat if that's the case, because I'm not used to like reading up like this. So hopefully I'm talking nice and slowly to you guys, so you can catch what I'm saying. Stage 3, let's get into it. So stage 3 is the feel good stage. That's what I call it anyways. This is the stage where your body is switched completely to meat. It's used to burning fat instead of meat, or instead of carbohydrates, and yeah, it's gonna start fixing issues with your body that you had. For instance, I sleep way better. That's one of the things. I guess I didn't note that I had this, but I had some kind of brain fog. Like it was hard for me to focus, and everything was like foggy. And then like I get to this point, right? I get like, what is it? As soon as my body got into ketosis, many of these things started helping. But then after a while, like a month or something, I started like it was like I didn't have brain fog anymore. It was like lifted from my mind, and I was able to like focus more. I was able to think more. I was able to understand better. I was able to see. It's like there's so many benefits to the feel good stage that and man, stage 3 is really good. Like and I'm still improving. I'm still losing weight. I'm still getting sharper. I'm still getting better at speaking. I'm still getting less anxious. That's another thing actually that I actually discovered here not too long ago. I had to do a presentation for like 20 people, and I used to get super anxious whenever or anxiety. I got anxiety, right? I used to get anxiety when I had to present things for like bigger groups, like more than 6 people. I would get like super anxiety, and I wouldn't. Sometimes it wouldn't get so bad that I couldn't do it, but I would mess up my presentation, and I'll be like, oh shit. I don't get that anymore. I have an easier time seeing what people are saying, or like seeing their body language. I'm having a better time reading people. So yeah, that helped a lot when it lifted my brain fog. So that's definitely one of the things that it helped. One of the most important things also about stage 3 is that like the hunger you used to have, it disappears almost completely. And I'm at stage 3 right now, and I'm still going to talk about the other stages, but sometimes I forget to eat. I'm sitting there working, right? And we get to dinner, and I usually have like a large dinner because that's the only day of the week that I eat. And once I get to that point, I used to be like hungry. I was like, oh yeah, it's time to eat, right? Let's go, let's get some food and all that. But here the last few weeks, I've actually been like forgetting that it's dinner time because I was just working and I was in the flow and it was amazing, right? And I was like, I was dialed in, I was focused, and it felt so good, man. And I'm like, oh shit, it's 12:30, right? I'm like, oh, I need to go get some food. And I didn't notice that I don't get hungry in the same way. And it's because your body is just it has access to your fat storage. So it's just burning your fat storage. It's not in any need to like have food come in. So it doesn't send any let's try again. It doesn't send any hunger signals to your brain. So you need to remember to eat when you get to this stage. So keep remembering, like just, keep doing your thing and eating at the right times if you can. Don't be like me and forget it, but it's very important to like keep eating like your meats, even though your body can still burn its deposits. If you then get hungry later, for some like eventually it will happen. Your body will be like, I'm a little bit hungry. You can get some hunger impulses like you did in the old days. It's rare. It hasn't happened though for the last 2 weeks at least. But before that it did happen, and then I wanted to eat something unhealthy, and I just luckily I have like carnivore snacks. I have like some meat that I can eat, so I just ate that and it was all good. But yeah, I definitely, when you get to stage 3, the feel good stage, just be aware that you might forget to eat, and please, if you forget to eat, just try to find time to it and just get to it and get the good meat and the good fat that you need. Pet, I'll get to the questions after this. Thank you so much for leaving a question though. I'll get to it after the presentation here. Let me just say that. Thank you so much for the chat, man. All right, so yeah, so it gives you clear mind, and it calms your emotions down. That's also another thing, because you're not challenging your insulin. You're not eating sugars and stuff that changes your insulin. It gives you like a certain calmness. And for us men, it's kind of important that we can be stoic sometimes and not react on our emotions. So it calmed my mind. It has calmed my mind down a lot, being where I am now. Like I don't get stressed in the same way. Actually, stress is also another thing. I need to have way more bad things happen before I get stressed. So it's just easier, just managing whatever comes in, which is amazing. I still get, nervous sometimes. I still have the emotions, but it's just like the top has been cut off, and it's not as bad anymore as it used to be, or it's not as like wild anymore as it used to be. So it definitely helps calm your emotions once you get into stage 3, which I still want to call it the feel good stage, because it feels amazing. And what the other guys say, like the other people who do this also and have done this for a while, it is one of the best stages, because you keep thinking, okay, it doesn't get any better than this, and it just keeps getting better. I'm like, oh god damn. And yeah, I have not felt like this since I was in my 20s, 23 or 22 or something like that. It is quite good. It is quite good. And it's nice getting addicted to something that's healthy. Getting addicted to good health feels good, man. I guess that's a good way of saying it, right? So yeah, I definitely if you get to stage 3, you're gonna be in a good spot. Also, like, all the pains that I have in my stomach and all that also disappeared. Any inflammation that I had is gone, more or less. It doesn't feel like I have any inflammation left, but of course it could still get better, which is probably gonna do, but I don't have any like stomach inflammation, at least. And I'm still losing the weight on my sides, which is good, because I still need to lose 5 or 10 kilograms. I'm down to, oh, by the way, I forgot to say a little weight update. I'm down to 93 kilograms, 93.5 kilograms. So I lost about 0.5 kilograms this last week, which is within the normal schedule that I'm losing weight. So it's perfect. It's so perfect, actually. And I've been eating a little bit more meat than I usually do. So it's still meat and fat. So that's still good. I'm super happy. I'm excited to see how far I can get down without it like impacting me in a bad way, right? So at some point I'm gonna have to switch things up, which is some of the stages that we're gonna get into here in a moment, and they are very important. But yeah, this is the feel good stage, and I think most of my inflammation, at least in my stomach, is gone. One thing that I have had is my, what is it called, calves, my legs, or like the underleg, or whatever you call it in English. I have had some cramps in them, like I had when I was very young. And I don't exactly know why that's happening. But I just drank some water and some electrolytes, and it took care of it, and it completely disappeared again. So whenever I get like cramps in my calves, I just drink some electrolytes, and it's completely fine. So that might be one thing that can kind of wear its ugly head when you're doing carnivore diet. So that's the only thing that I've noticed that was bad, actually. Everything else has been amazing, especially the weight loss. Losing the 16 kilograms. Wait a minute. Yeah, 16 and a half. Let's just say that. Losing the 16 and a half kilograms has been so much better for my knees and my back, and my just moving around, doing things is so much better. Doing sports too, like playing some paddle or some badminton or whatever, it has been so much better for me. I can't even imagine if you like have like maybe 30 kilograms, right? By the way, 15 kilograms is about 35 pounds. So I guess that would be 70 pounds if it was 30, right? Like, so that's, yeah. I've heard of people that have lost that much weight. And I cannot imagine how much lighter your body must feel after that. That must be one hell of a trip, man. Just the 16 and a half kilograms that I have lost has been world changing for me, man. I have so much more energy too, like so much more energy. I get up. Sometimes I wake before my my alarm clock, and I'm like, oh, I'm awake. Let's go up and get going and all that. And yeah, I just feel so much better. It's quite insane. So that's why I call it the feel good stage. All right, let's move on to the next stage, because this is quite good. Quite enough of that. So I am currently in stage 3. So I haven't experienced stage 4. So what I'm going to explain or read to you guys here is what other people have experienced. What happens is you're going to lose your weight. In stage 4, you have already lost your weight. Once you lose all your weight to your body's preferred weight, which means there's no more fat left in the storage, something is gonna switch in your body. Essentially, the fat tank is empty, and your body is gonna panic because your body is always in survival mode, so it doesn't know you have a refrigerator with like food in it, so it can't just calm down. So once your fat storage is gone, and if you don't eat enough meat and fat, which will happen because you don't know how much you need, your body is going to panic. And apparently, it panics by sending hunger signals, like really, it will keep sending. Apparently, it can keep sending hunger signals almost all day long in the beginning, and then it will like mellow out a little bit. It will be less insane. But this can happen for up to 2 weeks, where your body will be like, I am hungry, I don't know what's happening, I'm hungry. And it will keep sending these signals, and you'll need to eat way more meat and fat. And it's a very, very like difficult thing, because this is where people can fall off pretty easily, because it's one of those pitfalls where your body is screaming at you, I need food. And sometimes easy food is the only food you can get, and you can really fall into a pitfall right there. So I need to be prepared for this. I need to just, once I get closer to it, once I lose the weight, once I get down to the weight, my doctors say that my perfect weight, or the weight I should be, is 85 kilograms, or 84 kilograms actually. But I think I will hit that probably a little bit before that, because my body is a little bit heavy in like bones and whatever. I've always been heavier than other people, even though I look lighter than I am. At least that's what people tell me. When I'm sitting here, I look pretty fluffy, right? So, but other people tell me I look less heavy than I am. And now that I don't have all the inflation and all that, it's just my body. It's not any water or like anything else that can like influence my weight. So once you get down to that weight, like get close to it, I'm gonna have to start just like turning up or dialing up the amount of food I eat until I see the weight like flatline, or maybe even like the loss is like way less. That's my plan anyways. I want to like mitigate it a little bit so I don't get the insane hunger signals sent to my body. The only issue is that like the way that we usually do carnivore diet is we eat until the meat stops tasting as good, right? So when the meat starts tasting less good, that's when you stop, because your mind is telling your tongue, hey, I have enough now, we can stop eating. So I don't know exactly how that's going to work when I'm going to try to overeat on purpose. So I'm not entirely sure if that's going to be good. But I mean, if I can't do that, then I'm just going to hit the point where I have no more fat reserves, and I'm just gonna have to deal with it, man. I'm just gonna have to buy twice as much meat or something, and more fat than I used to. Probably gonna have to get a bigger lunchbox, but those are small issues. It's just really good that now I know this is gonna happen, so I can prepare myself for it. So if I start getting hungry, where I'm like, I keep being hungry all day, now I know what's happening. Why this is happening is because my body has actually removed all the fat storage. So the weight that I have now is my body's perfect weight, right? And also, like, you could say that that weight is not the right word. Maybe your fat percentage is the right word, right? Once you get down to not having that much anymore, it will start doing that. So yeah, I use the weight because that's my way of calculating it. The best way would probably be to like measure your fat percentage and see how far down it goes. The only issue with that is that like it's different from person to person. So every person would have a different limit where your body would be like starting to get super hungry. So it's very difficult to know. And I have never been low in my fat percentage. I always had issues with weight. So yeah, I was trained at one point. I was like really muscular and stuff. I was like strong and all that. But I was like kind of fat at the same time, if that makes sense. So it's difficult to know where that is, where the point, when I will hit that point. But yeah, your body will panic and it will start sending hunger signals to your brain. And you just need to be aware that like there is a way out of it. It takes like 2 weeks and then it will normalize a little bit. You'll need to up your fat intake and your meat intake, so you eat more of it. But it will normalize again. Like your body will be less panicked, and you'll just start eating again in the new amount that you need. So once you get over that, you're gonna get into stage 5, which is maintenance mode. Maintenance mode is essentially you have cleared out all the issues. Essentially, you graduate to full carnivore, right? You're now a carnivore master, if you could say that. And in maintenance mode, you still eat more than what you did before stage 4, right? But the hunger will subside. So yeah, you'll start noticing you'll start noticing. Apparently, you're supposed to start noticing that you're more calm and your body will relax even more, and will get used to the amount of food that you eat. If you stick to the carnivore diet, of course. But this is also a little bit dangerous because you're in your ideal weight, right? You're like you have achieved your goals, right? You got everything done. You have lost the weight. You feel great. It's just great. Everything is working as it's supposed to, right? And this is where it's very dangerous for most people, because once you get into that, right, people have a tendency of getting a little bit bored. That's one thing. And also, like, you feel like, oh, I've achieved this. Now I can eat however I want. If you go back to eating bad things, your body will start becoming bad again, right? And you will gain weight again. So you need to be able to maintain, which is why it's maintenance mode. Carnivore diet, if you complete it, like get to the fifth stage, is a lifestyle. And you should not go back. If you go back, many of the issues that you had before will come back again, and it will hurt you. You will be stronger in many ways. You'll have more resistance to, like, if you accidentally eat something with sugar in it, or if you eat something that can like I don't know, eat a potato or something, your body will be stronger at resisting, apparently. But if you keep doing it, it will just hurt you. And actually, when it comes to sugar, apparently it's supposed to hit you a little bit harder with the insulin shock and all that, because your body is no longer used to it. But it when it comes to like the plant, or like the carbohydrates, I guess. No, sugar is also carbohydrate. When it comes to vegetables, it's gonna be less effective, because vegetables are trying to kill you. That's essentially what it is, man. Vegetables can't fight back. They can't run away. So the only way that they can stop animals from eating them is poisoning or tasting bad, right? So if you don't cook your vegetables for 6 hours, you're probably going to get some kind of toxin in your body, and you're going to be more resilient to that if you complete get to the maintenance mode, the stage 5, right? But it will still hurt you in the long run if you keep doing it. So it's just, your body should also still be repairing. So there might still be things that it will get better even after that. So yeah, and especially if you have some kind of if you had some kind of ailment before this, it will come back and it will be bad for you. And I know how it is, man. You're with your grandparents, and they have, like, you can't say no to your grandmother's apple pie or whatever, and she like gives you some. I know how it is, man. I know it's difficult. But I think people would be way better off, including myself, if I listened to the advice and don't fall off the wagon when it comes to that. Even though it's not as bad when it comes to carnivore diet, you can still get back on and you'll be fine. It will still hurt you. So yeah, but yeah, stage 5 is maintenance mode, and it's actually a little bit of a dangerous stage, because you achieve your goals. So I would recommend setting new goals. Beginning to think about, okay, so I have this now. I lost the weight. I feel great. I have way more energy. So let me build on that. I put this foundation down, and now let me build on it. So what do I want to do? Do I want to be better at my work? Do I want to be more together with my friends? Do I want to work out more? Do I want to maybe build this amazing machine up now that it's healthy? Do I want to build more muscle mass? Because you're eating a lot of protein, you might as well use them to build something, right? So you might as well work out a little bit, start doing something extra, like that you didn't do before. This allows you to set new goals. I think that's what I'm trying to say, where you can actually build upon yourself. And you don't have to do that. You don't, but you're probably gonna want to do it. That's another thing. Once you get through all this, you're gonna have, even now when I'm in stage 3, I want to do more things. I feel like going outside. I feel like, doing things together with my friends. I feel like being with my family. Whenever I'm together with my family, I feel way more calm and way better. So it will increase your activities. So I think once you get to the goal, and now I'm good on my diet, I know how I need to eat. I know how much I need to eat. Set yourself good goals for life that can set you up for like having a great life, like not just a good life, but a great life. I think that's the way to go. And there's tons of other things we can talk about when it comes after the diet, right? Get your diet right first. Get your carnivore diet right first. Get your body as healthy as you can. And then you can set all the other plans that you want to do. And I know it's tough, man. If this was easy to do, anyone would do it, right? But few people are doing it, and that just means that it's worth doing. That's all I'm saying. So I hope you guys really get into this and try it out. At least if you try this out, give it at least 3 months to see the full impact of it. That's where you kind of start feeling amazing. So yeah, I really hope that people will give it a chance. Yeah. And if you guys have any stories, if you guys are trying carnivore diet right now, please do write in the comments down below. I would love to hear some experiences you guys have had. What things has it helped with? Like, how do you feel on the carnivore diet? Have you had any issues with it? Is there anything that I might be able to help you with? Because I want to spread the word that this is way better for humanity, because humans are carnivores. It's as simple as that, man. I know people hate, like, I have a lot of there's a lot of vegans that hate me, and I can understand why, because it doesn't fit in with their world. But I don't try to tell them what they should eat. I just say, this works for me, and this seems to be the better way to do it. And they come up with a lot of things, like they go a lot for the environment and stuff, but I actually think that plants are way more harmful for the environment than animals are. Because making or like harvesting plants or growing plants also kills a lot of animals, as it turns out. So yeah, that's not great. We just don't talk about that, do we? So yeah, there's a lot of things in it, right? But I honestly think that this is the best way to do it. It works for me, at least. It works for me. I will never tell anyone else how they should eat. And even if you're doing just like 70% meat, you're still doing better. You're still doing 70% better than all the other people who are living on a Western diet where they're eating 30% meat, right? So, I mean, as much as you can do to get there, and if you need any help, I would like to help you get there. So please leave a message down below if you have any great stories, and tell all the other people how it works for you and how you feel with it. And if you have any issues, also leave me a comment, and I will try to figure out why that's happening, and try to maybe send you the right way, at least. So yeah, I think that's it. That's my presentation, and also kind of my plan. I kind of integrated it into it, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna continue on this. And I'm still trying to get my blood tested again. I kind of want to see how the stats are looking now, because before I started carnivore diet, my oh god, I can't say it again. Testosterone was super low, and it was bad. I had a lot of other issues too, that I can't say the names of it because it's in doctor terms. But yeah, that was a lot of issues with my blood work, and I think almost all the things might have bounced back, because I feel great. I feel so good. So I'm kind of curious how the blood work is gonna look. But once I get it, I'm gonna look at it, and I'm probably gonna do a stream about it to see what it says and try to look it up. But I'm expecting good things. And once I get that, I'm gonna I'm gonna just, continue doing what I'm doing, like eating more meat, trying to find more good kinds of meat that I can eat, and more meat, more fats, and just try to stay away from sugar as much as possible. It is kind of wild though how much sugar is everywhere. Like even in some of the pre-made foods, there's tons of sugar in it, and it's just an addiction, man. And it's just because I think it's because of greed. Like companies are trying to sell it, and they are selling it to our children too. It's like the perfect marketing thing. Oh, this is innocent sugar. It's not gonna hurt you. And then like 10 years down the line, you get all sorts of illnesses from it. Yeah. What is it? Sugar sickness? What is that in English? Let me see. I keep forgetting diabetes. I don't know why I can't remember that word, but that's one of the things that our world is infected with. Like there's so many people who have diabetes. It's actually insane. Like and it's not something that our species has naturally, because usually we don't eat that stuff. We don't eat sugar in those huge amounts. So I think if everyone in the world went to carnivore diet, first of all, that would have to happen slowly because we need to ramp up production, right? But if everyone did a carnivore diet, or like some form of it, maybe 90%, I think diabetes would not be it would be like maybe 2 people out of the whole world, maybe 20 people out of the whole world would have a diabetes thing, like be sick with diabetes. I don't think it's something that's natural in our species. I don't think it belongs there. And I think the only reason that we have it is because we are eating the wrong things, man. We're not eating our natural diet that we're supposed to. Especially the Western diet is horrible with this stuff, man. There's sugar everywhere, man. It's crazy. So crazy. All right, let me look at all the questions here. Let me see. Actually, I have questions today. That's awesome. Let me put this up here. Oh, I didn't put the plugin on the screen. Just a second, guys. That's my bad. I'm gonna pull the plugin up here so I can actually see your message on the screen. Let me see. Okay, I might not have set this up. Did I not set this up? Oh, there it is. I found it. Okay, I just need to... I think that's it. Oh, that's the chat box. I mean, we can do it like this too, but that's actually not what I wanted. Oh, let me find the right one here. Yeah, this is second carnivore stream, so bear with me, guys. I will definitely get this to work. Chat box, chat overlay, there we go. All right, so that should be my chat overlay. I'm gonna put this in the right or left corner. All right, there we go. All right, so now I should be able to post this. Let me see. There we go. Greetings, newbie here. How about beans, squash, and other veggies like beets or turnips? So some of those, I think beets are especially bad when it comes to like staying toxin free. I will say though, beans are also like, I think beans are probably the less worst of them, but they all carry toxins. Beans also need to be cooked for a very long time before you even think about eating them. And yeah, you said the squashes or other veggies like beets or turnips. Yeah, all of them have plant toxins in them, and they will cause inflammation. But I think beets especially have like starches in them, right? If I'm not mistaken. So they are very difficult for your body to actually treat or like get out again. Squashes, yeah, squashes is also one of them. I think squashes has a lighter sugar in it, but it's still pretty bad. Like all those have toxins in them, so I would not recommend that. I would recommend staying clear from that. Yeah, I would recommend staying clear from that. Definitely, as much as possible. Thank you so much for the question. Thank you so much, man. Let me see what else here. Do we have? You have another question? Metric system? Yeah. We're doing the metric system for sure. I'm sorry if I miscalculated the pounds. It's a little bit difficult to calculate it for me because I'm not used to it. So translating it could be a little bit off. Hopefully I did okay though. Hopefully it wasn't too terrible. Weight loss, best health in my. Yes. Yeah, carnivore is very good for weight loss. It's not, I always say it's not a weight loss diet as such. It's more of a well-being diet. But it will also, you will lose weight because your body will try to change into its perfect weight on its own. So you will definitely, one thing that I do want to say, so you will start burning the fat, but it's fat that's been there for maybe a long time. Maybe you had this fat for like 10 years. So some days you will feel a little bit off, but that's essentially when you wake up because your body has been burning old fat that has been in your body for so long. So you will get a little bit of a weird morning sometimes where you're like, I guess you're just like, stomach is not upset, but you're like, you're feeling like a little bit tired right when you wake up. But then once you get up, you'll feel better immediately. And it only happens on some days because of the wherever it chooses to take the fat from, right? So there's a little bit of a thing. And if you've been overweight for a long time, this will probably be a little bit worse. But it's for the better. You're gonna lose the weight, and it's gonna be great for you. And so just stick with it, man. Stick with it. Of course, if you feel dizzy or you have any new ailments that come up, talk to your doctor about it. And I would recommend, unless he asks you, don't tell him that you're on a carnivore diet immediately. Just let him look at all the numbers first, because most doctors will probably fall from their chair if you tell them that you're you're doing carnivore diet. You can be lucky and get a good doctor that kind of understands those things, but yeah, it's a little bit tough. But yeah, it's definitely a health diet for sure. Yeah. Oh, damn, man. Let me see this one here. Western diet gave me DM type 2, trying to beat the odds on longevity. So diabetes, right? Yeah, that's diabetes type 2. Oh man, I'm so sorry for you, dude. That's not funny. That's not fun at all. I have a friend who's also like a type 2 diabetes has diabetes, and it's not a good time. But he's also doing way better now. He's almost gotten rid of it by doing carnivore diet and keto and carnivore diet. And then he started with keto and then switched to carnivore diet, and he's doing way better because of it. So if you have diabetes, I highly recommend the carnivore diet. It will help you balance everything out, so you don't have any insulin issues, which could crop up with many of those. With any sugar, I guess. But again, like if you have to eat any sugar, I think the best one is probably sugarcane. That's the most simple sugar crystal you can eat in our world, as far as I know. The worst one is starches, which is where we talk about the beets. I think that's the starch, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's also in potatoes if you don't clean them, if you don't treat them first. I need to look this up actually, because I can't remember. I'm just talking on my ass right now. Potatoes, starch. Yeah, potatoes have starch in it. Yeah. So that's definitely definitely a bad sugar that you don't want to consume. It's very rough for your system to treat it. So stay away from that stuff for sure, man, for sure. I'm steady at, let me take this out of here. I'm not as capsular as I used to be. I'm steady at 175 lips. Let me see how many kilograms that is. 5. I'm gonna, after this, I'm gonna install like a weight translator or whatever, a weight app that I can have on my other screen. So I can just look this up. You are about 80 kilograms, which is not too bad depending on how tall you are. But yeah, that's pretty okay actually. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, trying. Yeah, you're doing great, man. You're doing great, dude. For sure, man. I mean, just stick to it and you will be absolutely fine in no time. For sure, man. So yeah, it's just important to try to avoid the pitfalls that you can run into, right? So are you doing a keto or a carnivore diet, Pete? I don't know if your name is Pete, but I'll call you Pete. Just because I don't want to call you the other name here. But yeah, I hope that's okay. But do tell me. Yeah, I think this is just it's just a good idea to you know. I understand that it's not easy. Everyone has their own preferences and pitfalls and things that remind them of their childhood. For me, it's the small cakes, right? The small we used to eat them every morning, man, and I can't believe I did that because my body must have been screaming from the hilltops, stop doing it, stop doing it. I just kept doing it, man. Oh man. Oh, thank you. Okay, yeah, nice. Good to know it. Good to know, man. Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. Keep at it, keep at it. That's freaking awesome. And thank you so much for the questions, man. That's cool. It's always nice when you have a little bit more of a something to respond to, right? So that's good. If any of the rest of you or anyone who watches this video have any questions, leave it in the comments down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And I highly expect all the vegans to write hate mails to me and send me hate messages. And to that, I can only say thank you so much for the for helping me out with the algorithm. Some of you I answer just because I can get you to write more messages so I get further up in the algorithm. So just so you know, man, you're helping me out, but that's all I'm gonna say. Oh man, let's leave it on a high note right there, man. I'm gonna go get ready for my game stream later. And if you guys are interested in gaming, I'll be on Jack Shepherd Plays. I'll send a little greeting message in the chat just so you guys can see my gaming tag. This is not something anyone has to do, but if you're interested, you can always join me there too. We'll be streaming some Mechabellum later, playing some video games, just chilling, talking, doing whatever we want to do. And yeah, you guys are always welcome to join in. So there you go. I'll be doing a break first though, because I do need to get something to drink and get ready. I have like some gaming clothes that I put on and all that. So it's a whole thing, it's a whole ritual. But this stream was awesome. It's nice seeing, we had like almost 30 people in here at one point. I'm not used to having that many people here, so this was freaking amazing. So thank you guys so much for watching, and check out my videos. By the way, I am making a playlist of how I found Carnivore and my journey in what I discovered while I was doing my research, right? So if you guys are interested in that, I have, do I have 2 or 3? I have 3 videos right now. And there are some very good links in there to the videos that I found that showed me the information that I then researched even more. So check it out, guys. It's freaking amazing. And yeah, that's it. I'm going to call it. Have a nice evening, guys. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.